Hello, I'd like to explain material types and the material master views. This is the summary. Okay, it would be good if we look at the system. You see material types are these Fiat is the fertig, the final product. Example FG126 in this system. Let's look at the bomb structure. Since FG126 is a final product, it has a lot of sub-components assigned to it. Okay, if we look at the final product, this is a finished product. To see the material type, you can see it in this Fiat information button, and it has a lot of views. When you have to create a material master, you have to know what kind of views is required for what kind of material types. And this final product has, of course, it will be sold to customer, so it has a sales view. And profit center is here, sales general view, and MLP view. MLP view has MLP types or lot size. If it is in-house production or externally procured material, or is it both? MLP3 has our strategy group and consumption mode, backward consumption mode, availability check. MLP4 has production versions or individual collective indicator. Work scheduling. Since we have to issue a production order, in that case work scheduling view is required. And production storage location, this will be automatically proposed when this will be received when the production order is completed. Plant data storage location. When you create the material master, you also should create these tab. Because when you receive goods from external procurement, the goods movement type 101 automatically create these tab. But other than that, if this configuration is not in place, you have to create it manually using certain transaction code. Sorry, I don't remember, MRRL or something. When you create the material master, you should create these two tabs too. And accounting view, of course, from accounting perspective, this is important. Valuation class that controls the GL account. Price control, standard V as a moving average, and price determination. This is a material ledger. Transaction based means there's no actual costing material price, so it means nothing. Material ledger is activated, but it's not working at all. Accounting to view, and this is additional information, it's not mandatory. Costing 1, costing 2, costing views are necessary if you do the cost estimate, and you need a production order, you need a cost estimate. Consequently, costing view is also necessary. Costing to view, currently active released cost estimate is here. Okay, other things, something I'm not familiar, so I will finish it right around here. So this is a finished good. If we look at the semi-finished good, if you are not selling as a semi-finished good, you don't need a sales view. And there is a case you create it in-house, issuing a production order, then you will need a work scheduling view. And if you are sourcing from outside using like a subcontractor, then you need a procurement, purchasing view. And plant data, storage data, and MLP1. If it is an in-house or external, MLP views are mostly necessary. MLP view, because you may the system SAP, when you run the MLP, it will decide if it is external procurement or if it creates a production order. That control is also being done in MLP. MLP2 has this indicator, in-house or procurement, external procurement. The 40 is sales MLP and delivery from stock. Availability check is here. MLP4, if there's a production version, yeah. Individual collective indicator. In this case, it seems repetitive manufacturing profile, so this will be not the production order, it is cost collector, KKF6. And yes, cost collector should also have a work scheduling tab, and the storage location is here. Don't forget the plant data, storage data. This will be always necessary as far as you have inventory stock. Accounting view, of course, if you have inventory inventory value, you will need accounting view, and GL account valuation class is required, and the price controlling standard price or moving average. Accounting to view may not be such necessary, but sometimes cost estimate refers to this view. Costing 1, if you need a production order or cost collector, then you will need a cost estimate, so costing view is required. So this is about it. ST21 and raw material. Raw material, it's very rare you create raw materials in-house, so it doesn't have a work scheduling because it doesn't require production order. Usually it will be procured from outside, so it has a purchasing. Sales view, if you're not selling raw material, it usually is not necessary. MLP view, if you run the MLP, then the MLP view is necessary. MLP1 has, if it is MLP relevant, PD, lot size, not full lot, or if it is F, it is external procurement. Because raw material should be externally procured. This one, storage location for EP, external procurement. When you receive the goods, the storage location will be determined from this entry. So you should assign storage location here. MLP3, strategy group may not be necessary. MLP4, not much of entry, only the individual collective indicator. Plant data storage data, you will need this. And storage conditions for finished goods, when you deliver the finished goods, this storage condition controls the storage location at the picking. That is here. That is necessary. And this one has again the profit center. Accounting view, the same valuation class and price controlling, standard price or moving average. Accounting 2, listing 1. This one will be used for an cost estimate. That could be the reason it has a costing view too. It has a S indicator and that will be included in the cost estimate. So these are the three types of materials. Let's look at other type of materials. Okay, if I show the BOM transaction, usually you type this MM03 and you look at the system asks the views. If you go into these views, it asks for the required organization data. This is the sales view, and the item category group is also important. That will controls the item category at the sales order. Account assignment category group. So the account assignment group material is here to control inventory sales account. Okay, I missed this loading group. This is important because it controls the shipping point. This is a very important field. Also, I just mentioned storage conditions. This, when you deliver goods, there will be picking, and to allow system to propose a storage location at the picking delivery. This is the one. Since this installation has a warehouse management, it seems the warehouse management is proposing a storage location, so they are leaving it blank. So this is how you look at MM03. Yes, we were about to see other materials like okay, I summarized these three types: fat, hard, raw material. Trading goods. Let's look at trading goods. Trading goods. You won't manufacture, create trading goods. Trading goods is something you purchase from outside and you sell it. So it doesn't have a work scheduling view. It requires purchasing view and the sales view at the same time. General view and sales view. Loading group, profit center, and the procurement, purchasing. It usually requires this goods receipt processing time, the lead time, and the MLP view. So this has F, external procurement. Of course, you purchase it from outside and sell it to the customer. That's trading goods. And plant storage data. You should create this view. Of course, accounting view is required to decide the valuation class and the price control. This is a moving average, so I think this is not assuming the cost estimate, so it doesn't have a costing view. These two views, two tabs. This is something only display view, display mode, or change mode. Once the material master is created, this will be displayed. When you create a material master, these tabs do not exist. Okay, so this is trading goods. Let's look at the type of material. It used to be Dean slicing for service material, and in my understanding, service material do not have a counting view. So I put it dash here, hyphen. Occasionally, or very exceptionally, it has a counting view, and but for majority, in my understanding, it doesn't require a counting view, because the cost comes from sales order line item, sales order costing. Dean and the Kmart is a variant config. Service material both do not have a counting view. and this installation, the best practice, do not have DIN. It has a sub for service. For example, investigation. This is the service material. You see, there's no accounting view. It only has sales view. Sales view alone, because the cost comes from sales order costing. Very lean. No MRP view here. No accounting view, no costing view, no procurement view. So this is service material. And it didn't even have a purchasing or MRP view. It only had the sales. Okay, let's check the KMAT, the variant config. KMAT has this tab, classification. Let's talk about this later. KMAT. First, KMAT is a configurable material. If you use a variant configuration, variant config, the item category is 0002. It says configuration, but actually it says variant configuration, not the system configuration, and the translation is sometimes wrong. Okay, and I put the remark here 300. The variant config class 300. If we click this classification tab, this asks this class type, and the variant config use 300. What this does is in the transaction CT40, I don't remember the exact transaction, sales order entry, you can specify this nature or attributes of this material, and the price or cost will be decided. That's variant configuration. The cost will be picked up from usually this has accounting view, so it could be coming from accounting view, but like a service material, this is inventory standard price. Yes, it is possible you pick up the cost from sales order costing. Sales view. Of course, this is material that will be used in sales order entry. So sales view is basics, item category configuration. The variant config also requires an MRP view if MRP is used. And this in particular, this is a particular case as in-house. Strategy group is 25 to order for configurable material, and individual collective indicator has individual requirements, because configurable material is assuming sales order costing or project, but it doesn't have a variation class for sales order project. The work scheduling, this is relevant to production order. Don't forget the plant data, storage data. You always, whenever you have an inventory value, you will need a storage location. Storage location, sorry, accounting view and costing view. No, it doesn't have a cost estimate. So I summarized it. Basically, if we look at these three manufacturing types, of course, finished goods, you do not need a purchasing. Basically, it requires the production order, so work scheduling is required. If the production order is required, a cost estimate is required. As far as the inventory has a value and inventory amounts, then it requires accounting view. Accounting view to almost everything but the service or KMAT. Although the material we saw had the accounting view, so it's just a rule of thumb. General data is something in common among the plant, so as far as you have a description for material, you will need a general data. Classification, we only talked about the KMAT, the variant config 300, class 300. But there are cases, the QM module, a quality management module is used. Seems classification is also used. Sales view, of course, if you are to sell finished goods or semi-finished goods, you'll need a sales view. Semi-finished goods, if you are not selling the semi-SFG, you won't need a sales view. The trading goods, of course, you are about to sell the sales trading goods, you need a sales view. Service material, variant config also requires sales view. Sales plant, the same. And purchasing, if you're not purchasing from outside, you don't need the purchasing, but like a raw material or trading goods, you definitely need a purchasing view. Semi-finished goods, there are cases you create the product or production order for semi-finished goods. In that case, you don't purchase from outside, but you have a choice to source outside using a subcontractor. In that case, you need a purchasing view for SFG. And MLP view, if you are to use MLP in the production, of course mostly you require this. That's what SAP is for. So if it's relevant, you need to create the MLP view too. Plant storage view. If it has an inventory value, it requires a count over the inventory, how many was moved, then you will need this view. Work scheduling is about the production order. Although we saw KMAT also has a work scheduling view. So raw material, I don't think you create the production material to create the raw material. Well, there are sometimes cases you create from the raw material. You issue production order to create the raw material. Otherwise, raw material is supposed to be something you purchased from outside. Trading goods, of course, that's for non-manufacturing. Accounting view is the same. If you need to track the financial value, count of the goods, of course you will have you need an accounting view. Costing, if you do the production order, that will require cost estimate, then costing view is required. Okay, I put the remark here. Classification tab, when you create the material master, if you click it and save it, you cannot remove the classification tab, so it's very sensitive. You should be careful. Do not touch classification unless you are 100% sure. And from what I know, I found out only class 300 is used for classification, or quality management have some classification. Otherwise, you won't need the classification. Work schedule, something I have explained, production order. And the costing view is required for cost estimate in the production order. And the price control, of course, everybody knows moving average and standard price. I just put this in the table because sometimes standard price, we have a case that requires a costing view and do not require costing view. Moving average, you won't need a costing view because when you receive goods from a procurement vendor, the inventory value will be determined at the goods receipt. Sometimes you have to use ML21 to change the material price, but it's not a good practice for moving average, and it doesn't have a costing view. And okay, you decide to use standard price, but you still have a case you do not have a costing view, because it seems the future price field and the CK24 allows the store the price, and I think you can also use the ML21 to change the price. Right, future price means oh, do we not have anything is fine? Yeah, the future price, and if you fill in the future price and the validity start date here, and you run the CK24, seems that will be moved to, become active price or standard price. Of course, you can use ML21, but it seems this is the regular operation. In the past, if you do not do the cost estimate, so trading goods can be S. Okay, now it seems cost estimate is familiar and popular, and there are cases you do the cost estimate as a single material or collectively. If you do single material, you use CK11N and the mark and release by CK24. Of course, costing view, accounting view are required. And the collective cost estimate, we call it the costing run, is done by CK40N, and cost estimate and mark release are done in single transaction that has a costing view as well. And sometimes these are confused, and they cannot explain clearly, so I put that here. So this is it. I hope you are now ready for creating a material master.